Go. Good evening, Melrosians, the world over. I am Tom Shampoo.
I'm Sam Hammer.
And I'm Steve Cazella.
Oh my God!
Hi. Welcome back, Steve Cazella.
Original cast member, still with my original LTMM mug.
OG.
Nice.
Steve is
Did
an
you
OG member.
did you recognize yourself in the intro?
In the opening?
I did. I feel like I should be getting royalties for those dance moves every time you use them. I want at least 50% of the ad revenue from the show.
Perfect.
Right.
Perfect. Because nobody else could do them like you do them. So
no kidding. We should introduce. This is Let's Talk Melrose, a show where Melrosians talk to Melrosians about Melrose, our great and fair city. We are with Steve Cazella tonight. Thank you for joining us. Tom Catalini is down and out. He's out. He's away. I don't even know where he is. He just couldn't show up for some reason. and then we're still mourning the loss of our other dear friend co-host,
Jenny. Jenny!
Where'd she go?
What just happened exactly?
Yeah, that's my new favorite. That's my new favorite video.
That's amazing. That's how I feel every morning when I wake up. Jenny! Jenny!
So what's happening? What's going on, everybody? We had an election, I heard last week. I'm not sure if it's true, but I heard it was. Kidding.
Yes, 7 nights ago, around this time, polls had closed and we were hearing some of the results coming in. So congrats to our newly elected officials. We look forward to seeing what you have in store for the next 2 and 4 years. Obviously, thank you to the volunteers who supported all of them.
Yeah.
And most importantly, to the voters, which we'll be getting into in a little bit.
Yes.
But
we'll be talking about
a quick rundown on the school committee race. Seamus Kelly, Matt Hartman, and Margaret Driscoll are going to be serving on our school committee. Sorry, Steve. Next time, maybe. Got to get you on there.
We get a couple write-in votes each cycle, but I haven't quite managed to crack the code.
Can't crack that ceiling. So we'll get into all of the election results in just a minute or two.
Yeah,
but,
great.
And I also just want to mention that we're, in a little bit, hopefully we'll be able to speak with our good friend Stephanie Nelson, who'll be joining us. Melrose Kind is doing their thing. It's Kindness Week or Kindness Month. I'm not sure or Kindness Day.
Monday is Kindness Day.
Kindness Day. Okay.
Yep.
I feel like it should be Kindness Month, but we'll talk to Stephanie about that. See if we can change that. So hopefully we'll have a chance to speak with her. She's always great to have on as a guest.
Yeah, she's calling us from the soccer field, so I'll just check in and see where she is. But yeah.
And Steve, how have you been? Just by the way, before we get into the election results, how's everything with your life, your family, and everything else?
Things are good. It's it's fall has been great. It's always a beautiful time in New England. All the great things that happen, all of the apple picking and leaves and festivals and everything that just makes living in New England great around this time of year. So
sure.
Great times. Can't complain.
Nice. All right.
Anything else new and exciting?
Is this my cue to talk about voting?
No, but, I mean, all right. I'll say congratulations on having 3 public school kids at one time.
Right.
Yes. All my kids are now in the Melrose Public Schools, and my youngest is now old enough to be in kindergarten, which is great. Grace is in the middle school. Rosie's still in Lincoln School. And every morning when I open the door and off they all go with their backpacks to their public schools, it warms my heart and also makes me happy because I don't have to drive them all over the place anymore. So definitely that is a new thing this season.
Okay.
Congratulations. That's huge.
Congratulations for that.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, so let's get into the voting. I guess we'll get into the election a little more deeply. Let's talk about the results. Let's talk about, Steve, your perspective, and go from there. So we've got a couple of notes, I think, here in the show doc, right?
Yes, you want to go through the rundown of who?
I was going to ask if you would not mind that.
Okay, that'd be great. I'm just pulling it up for fun. Okay.
Take 2 weeks off, and this is what happens, I guess, right?
It's all good. If you're watching this show, you need this information. So again, on school committee, congratulations to Seamus Kelly, Matt Hartman, and Margaret Driscoll. And then for counselors and wards, Manjula Karamchedi is back in. Ward 2 is John Abremski. Ward 3 is Rob Stewart. Ward 4 is Mark Garapay. 5, Kim Vandiver, who is next to Tom. So this is great.
Yep.
We have immediate influence.
Congrats to Kim.
Ward 6, Cal Finicchiaro is in. And Ward 7, Devin Romano. And of those races, I think only 2 were contested. Of those 7.
I think you're right.
And then Councillor at Large, a welcome back to Ryan Williams, Maya Jamaluddin, and Lila Migliarelli, and Ward Hamilton will be joining them as an at-large councillor. And for mayor, Jen Gregoritis did pull it off, and she is our next mayor. Her inauguration's in January. Mm-hmm. And then also we had a ballot question, which was very exciting for the debt exclusion for 4 public safety buildings, and a resounding yes. I'll say resounding because I can. So the community has approved the mechanism of financial debt exclusion so that we can borrow enough to rebuild and renovate 3 firehouses and 1 police station.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah, it's great. So good job, Melrose.
Yeah, well done. Excellent. All right. And voting remained at the middle school. I think everyone knows that if they voted. So it was a pandemic era decision, I assume, and then it's going to stay that way. It looks like. I'm not sure they're going to go back to the polling locations, but it works for some. I think it doesn't work for others. I'm not sure how you all feel about that.
Sorry, can we pause while I grab my soapbox? Because
Steve, I didn't even know that you got to get up on your soapbox about this issue. Yeah, but certainly want to talk about.
I've got it installed. I'm on top of it, and I'm ready to go. No, it's not really a soapbox. Yeah. However, and I also need to say before I get on my soapbox fully that I know that the people who made the decision did so in good faith. They worked hard. They looked at the issue. They looked at actually several times, committees and the board as a whole looked at it a few times, and that there are real issues kind of at stake here, that it's not an easy call. However, the experience of voting last week was pretty bad. It was pretty hard to get in there. The traffic was just at a standstill all up and down the road getting into the back parking lot of the middle school. There were police officers kind of trying to direct traffic. There were lots and lots of sign holders. There seemed to be some sort of volleyball event going on at the same time, just based on kind of who was there in the parking lot at the time. And there were just people like going in and out in cars while people were trying to walk through and weave through to get into the polling location. At the same time, the parking lot on the other side of the middle school was pretty much empty, actually, and a sign that basically said no voter parking or something to that effect on that parking lot. So the system, it just doesn't work. The system that we have there now on a day like last Tuesday just does not work at all. So whether that means go back to the old system, which of course raises all the issues of accessibility that kind of brought us to this point in the first place, I don't know. But what we have going on right now on a high turnout day like last Tuesday, just is not the answer. Can't be the answer.
And how long did you wait to actually park and vote? Like, was it a long
from when I turned on to the no. I mean, I'm not talking about like hours to get into the parking lot or anything. It was nerve-wracking, like weaving through cars while I was holding my 5-year-old by the hand, trying to keep her from, going over to say hi to all of her friends who were holding signs. But no, it wasn't like we were all there for hours, but it was the opposite of what it used to be like at the BB school, where, you walk down after you drop the kids off, or maybe you bring them with, then you pop over to the train and hop on and you're off to Boston. This is a much more chaotic, much more kind of high energy experience, and the research is pretty clear on it too. The further away you put a polling location from someone's house, they're marginally less likely to vote. It doesn't mean like they're half as likely. It's not going to cut turnout in half for someone who lives a mile away versus a block. But at the margins, it does reduce turnout. That's pretty much what all the research on this issue that I could find suggests, particularly for populations who are kind of already on the border of whether to vote or not to vote.
Right. So I know that I'm in Ward 5, and I know, we used to vote at the Lincoln School, which I could walk to from my house, and now I have to get in my car and drive over there. My wife does the same. We vote at different times of the day. I happened to go early in the morning before I went to the office last week, so I went in at like 7:15 after the polls had just opened. And you're right, even at 7:15, it was still a lot of people out there holding signs, some police officers out there kind of directing traffic. I happened to get in and was able to park, but it was still just a lot. Like it felt like it was a lot of just activity and confusing and just a bother, I guess. But hopefully we'll revisit that next year or next time and do a better job. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, I hope it comes back in front of the city council for a discussion again now that the pandemic is over. We certainly have the ability to have decentralized voting again if we choose. Schools were closed. We talked before the show about how seemingly disenfranchised Ward 5 has historically been, but significantly more this last time. You have a lot of folks who are at the apartments who getting to Lincoln was hard enough if they don't have a car, or it's about a mile still from Oak Grove, but even more so getting folks from Ward 5 up to the middle school during the day seemed impossible. It was very hard.
As I understand it, the graphics department here at Let's Talk Melrose Global Headquarters has been working hard on this exclusive analysis on this issue. Tom, do we have that?
Oh, yes, we do. I mean, that's
yes.
it. Voter turnout. Look at that. So yes, you can see Ward 5, Precinct 1 and Precinct 2 are the two lowest turnouts, 25 or 20%, 25%. That's kind of sad. I feel badly for that. It doesn't feel right that 25% of the people are showing up to vote.
And just to be fair, but jumping between topics, we're not suggesting that this is because of the distance to the middle school exclusively,
right.
And certainly there are many other demographic factors that influence whether someone votes, everywhere, not just here in Melrose. So that's, certainly something worth mentioning, but it is still notable that ward is so low.
Yeah. And again, it's historic. It's historically the lowest turnout of this in the city, but I think this time the data doesn't lie. It's telling us the story that the folks in Ward 5 are not making it out to the polls. So let's do something about it.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Should we move on to the news? Are we ready for that?
Well, actually, we can talk about. Do you want to go? Well, they can merge into each other, but Steve's poll was
here,
also
I
really
can do
interesting.
it. Speaking of polling locations, we did some polling. For those of you who don't know, I work for the Massing Polling Group that does polling here in Massachusetts, and we did some polling on basically a lot of issues in Massachusetts, speaking of including quality of life. And one of the main dynamics is that it really depends on your life situation, whether you think life here in Massachusetts is better, whether you think it's worse, and on what topics you think it's better or worse. Basically, if you have an advanced degree or a college degree, if you're, in an upper income household, you're really feeling the benefits of life here in Massachusetts. And if you're in a lower income household or don't have a college degree, there's a lot of struggles. And some of the issues that we're going to cover here in the news now fit right into that, don't they, Sam?
They do. Do we need our news thing?
Oh, yes, of course we do. All right, well, hang on.
I'm going to get in there and edit that at some point. So I did read through the link in the article that I posted, but also listened to Steve on the podcast today on the poll and what it shows. And I think to your point that you mentioned, it does depend on who you are and where you come from, as to how you feel about how we're doing in the Commonwealth. But I wanted to point out that it is National Hunger and Homeless Week in the U.S., which is this year, November 11th through 17. And currently in Massachusetts, 15,500 people are unhoused. 560,000 people are facing hunger. 114,000 are children. And in 2019, 19% of all Massachusetts households experienced food insecurity, 19% in 2019. By 2022, that percentage was up to 33%.
Whoa.
Yes.
Wow.
So did you find, Steve, like any evidence in how people were responding if they were, disenfranchised or marginalized communities?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that certainly did have an impact. It basically breaks down that if you are doing pretty well, that you think we were trying to compare whether people thought life in Massachusetts was as good, better, or not as good as it is elsewhere. And in essence, it was, if you're doing well economically, that, things here for you are pretty good. You think about everything from like our educational system. If you happen to live in a school district with high quality schools, same with healthcare, same with all kinds of issues. So yes, it certainly extends to this one. We didn't explore food insecurity in this specific poll, but we've done it in many other polls, and it is closely linked to those same set of dynamics.
Yeah. So I love this. It's like all works together. And I wanted to just mention that last Friday, the food drive had their harvest event. And it was very full of Melrosians who wanted to go and, it was a fundraiser for the food drive. But they have a community freezer program as well. And so the meals that they have for folks to come and take, they can come every Sunday from 11:30 to noon at the Melrose FUMC. Help me out here.
First United Methodist Church, I would guess.
Yes, thank you. Oh my gosh. And the mission behind the food drive is to raise awareness as to why they do this. So the reason they do this is to take care of our neighbors and each other by sharing food. And they raised $79,000 on the event, which is huge. So if you have excess food because you've had a party or you've had a big party and want to have you have extras to donate, please consider doing that. They distribute the food very quickly. So Steve, at your Thanksgiving meal with all 50 Casellas, when you have leftovers, that's a great place to bring them. And then also the Melrose Together group is combined with the Melrose Kind, and we're doing I think it's our third annual Give a Gobble. Third or fourth. It's been a lot of fun.
It feels like 4, yeah, I think.
Oh gosh, okay. I should know, but I don't remember. But anyway, nevertheless, if you are interested, this is where Steve, I think Audrey did it with the Girl Scouts, where you can buy meal kits, like an entire meal in a bag for families and housing families. So I'll put the link to do that, because that's a great activity to do with your family and to talk about food insecurity and the need that's out there. So I'll put the link. Hold on. The pickup, the drop off is going to be Monday, November 20 from 2 to 4. No, wait, let me just double check. At the temple.
Temple
I
Beth
promise
Shalom.
I'll be there. Temple Beth Shalom. And I'll put the link. And if you can't drop off at that time, which I will confirm the time, I'm sorry, we will come and we will figure out how to get your food.
What information do you have for us
my
right
God.
now?
Well,
so my memory from last year, because Linda, my wife, is also involved in this, but my memory is that the request for X number of meals was doubled by the donations. In other words, we had twice as many that were requested, because the folks in Melrose do give and do care. So I'm glad to hear that. And hopefully this year we'll do the same.
Yes, I hope so too. So far, the drop off is Monday, November 20th from 2 to 4 at Temple Beth Shalom on 21 East Foster. And there's the form to give a gobble with the link to the list of food you can purchase and put in the bag.
Huh.
And so far, yeah, it's doing really well so far, but there's always extra need. So feel free to jump in
And as we come into Kindness Day on Monday, this is a fantastic act of kindness, which is different than being nice, by the way, which Stephanie and I were emailing about. There's an article from this past week about the difference between being nice versus being kind. This would be very kind to purchase a meal and donate that.
But it sounds nice to me. What's the difference?
We'll talk about it when we get to the kindness day.
All right, cool.
Yeah, good.
So a few other things that are happening this weekend. SpongeBob, the musical, is happening at the middle school. It's their first show of the year for the middle school. So there are tickets to that. I have an actor in there, Steve View. It's great.
I have a costume specialist who actually hand crocheted the cape that Patrick the Sea Star wears. So
oh my God.
out for that. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yes, definitely involvement. I'll be there on Saturday night.
Okay, awesome. I will be there Friday night at least. And then, all right, hold on. I'm just getting our guest to come on. Parent U is also coming up this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And let me get the details for that.
Do you have the link for that?
The link is there. Yep. Sorry, I'm getting our guest on at the same time. So Saturday morning, after you've watched SpongeBob on Friday night and before you go back on Saturday night, Saturday, November 18th, from 8:15 to 12:30 at the Melrose High School is Parent University. Chrisella Milios was on a few weeks ago to tell us about all the things they have going on. There will be a keynote from the superintendent, which is supposed to be pretty exciting and interesting to hear what he has to say on his kind of assessment, hopefully, and vision for our community as an interim superintendent. And then there'll be 2 sessions, and I'll put the link for the details. And then it seems like another plenary session on mental health, a mental health panel. So that is Saturday. Parent U from the Melrose Ed Foundation.
That sounds great.
All right. I just sent Stephanie the link, but we can move into the next topic if you like.
Okay, we have no music or anything. We'll just move into it.
That's fine.
As we wait for Stephanie to join us, I was reading this article that talked about kind versus nice. Kindness is a behavior or an act, and nice is sort of polite mannerisms and it's less action based, I guess you might say. Meaning, kind would be to bring something to somebody, to care about somebody. It's self-caring. It's empathy for other people. It's there's a level of confidence they say that, or they claim, that goes with this. So caring, kindness is a very important. Oh, look at this! A very important part of. Hey, welcome. I see a white hat.
Can you see me?
Yes, we can.
Can you see me? I'm so
Yeah,
sorry.
now.
Hi.
Hey, it's fine.
Hi,
Stephanie.
So I am at the boys Melrose High School soccer playoff game in Westwood, and I apologize for being late, but it is 1-1, and we are now in overtime.
Oh my
wow.
gosh.
How
Well,
very kind of you to join us while you're doing all of that.
That is very nice.
It's exciting, but it's freezing.
Oh yeah.
Well, report live if something happens.
If something
Feel free to
happens, they
just
want to hear
jump
the
in.
cheering, and yeah, no kidding. Good
Yes,
luck.
you'll hear the cheering in the background. But thank you so much for having me on. I'm sorry that it's dark, but I'm so excited to have a couple minutes to share some of the exciting things that are happening on Monday.
Yeah, please do.
I think I may have just joined you when you were talking about that incredible CNN article that you kind of shared with me.
Yeah.
I have sent that far and wide. We posted it on our page today. It's almost like what we've been saying for 8 years since Melrose Kind started, brilliantly written by CNN, that kindness really is scientifically proven to make you feel good. It's true. And I know there are some naysayers that are kind of like, they roll their eyes, but you see in the article that people talk about it elevates, levels of oxytocin, endorphins. It's a serotonin boost. I mean, what's not to like about that, right?
Right.
Right.
Well,
don't
we'll have to kill them with kindness, I guess.
Yes, exactly. That always seems to work. We are super excited for Monday. It is our 8th annual Random Acts of Kindness Day, which
Wow.
we've now kind of shortened and we call Kindness Day. On Monday, last night, we were invited to City Hall and the mayor proclaimed officially November 20th, Kindness Day, and acknowledged all the great work that our team, our growing team, what was just Mary Beth and me is now a team of about 20 people.
Wow.
And volunteers that are helping facilitate the letter writing campaign in the schools, visiting senior, actually, I apologize. We call them older adults. I just learned this. It doesn't flow as well, but they prefer older adults. And for those of you that don't know, we collect 1,500 letters from elementary school students, and then we deliver. They are the most adorable. They draw a picture, they write a little note, and we deliver them to local older adults, our neighbors in and around Melrose. And they're treasured. I know it seems like a small gesture, but they end up going up on a fridge and they're read probably 50 times. And as we all know, over the last 4 years, 3-4 years of the pandemic, these folks have been isolated. We all have been isolated, but these folks especially. So any kind of connection we have with them, I think, is really important.
That's a great reminder. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking at the cheat sheet that I got sent earlier today. So I'm happy to read a few things for you.
Yes.
On other things that are happening. So there will be activities going all the way up until Monday, including kindness mural outside of the Y.
Shout out to Follow Your Art. We love them.
I was in City Hall yesterday, and the posters are already hung up inside City Hall. So
that was a new thing, Sam, that we did this year. Our partners at the Franklin ECC had their students in classes all work on posters that what does kindness mean to you? And then now they're out for display in City Hall, which is awesome.
I love that. They were really cute. It was like the rainbow of the hands.
People drew like their picture or a hand, and then there are also versions of the mural that will be alongside of the YMCA at all of the elementary schools and the middle school and the high school, and they're interactive, so you can take your picture as though you were part of the mural, which is kind of fun.
Oh, that's great. Nice.
That's really great. So the band will be playing at the high school and middle school as students enter on. Oh, should I not say some of these things? Are they
Nope,
surprises?
that's okay. It's not a surprise. We did it last year, and it was funny because the kids would come and they were like, "Is it a holiday?" And we were like, "It's a holiday."
School nurses are going to get bouquets of flowers. Custodians and crossing guards will get gift cards. I will be at 9 a.m. With your newest VIP volunteer, Michelle Carson, at the Melrose Wakefield Hospital, handing out some treats to the employees there. So I'm glad to be jumping on that.
Thank you so much for participating. I have a Melrose Kind shirt for you. I will be dropping it off.
Whoa! All right.
I know.
Nice.
These are sought after, Tom.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure.
But they're also those yummy donuts and sweets that you're bringing are going to be accompanied by handwritten cards from our middle school students, both for the staff, thanking doctors and nurses for all the work that they do, and then for patients, giving them a little boost. Hey, you got this, hang in there. Again, goes a long way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fantastic.
And for people who are just kind of coming to this, even though it's been going on for 8 years, we have a lot of new residents and people who might not be engaged with it yet. How can they be engaged? How can they plug into what's going on?
Thank you so much. Hi, nice to meet you, Steve, by the way. They can like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram, Melrose Kind. You can email me, Stephanie at Melrose Kind, or my partner, Mary Beth at Melrose Kind. We can give you a kindness assignment. We can give you the schedule if you want to come participate. When I mentioned kindness assignment, it's literally an opportunity to just show some love to another organization in town. The post office will get love, SDM, the library, the police, the fire. But if you have an idea of somebody that needs to be acknowledged, we want to hear about it. The more affection and kindness we can give, the better.
Great. And if you don't have anything scheduled, just do something. Right?
Exactly. Exactly. It doesn't even have to be tied to us. We want it to just be this infectious opportunity to do good. So if you want to make cookies for a neighbor, if you want to rake leaves, if you want anything that inspires you and moves you, and if you don't believe in the science behind it, read the CNN article that's on our Facebook page.
And we just posted it just here in the chat too, so
Oh,
people
hey,
have a link there. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. Unfortunately, I think the opposing team just scored a goal, which means our beloved high school team season ends a bit short, but they have had an awesome run.
All right, well, go do that.
Go.
We'll see you soon. Monday at the latest.
Thank you so much for including me, and we'll see you on Monday.
Thanks for all
Take
you
care,
do.
Stephanie. Thanks for joining us.
All right,
Bye.
she's excused from dancing it off, I guess.
We still dance it off.
We still do. Yeah.
Some
It wasn't something we left behind
hard.
in 2019. We're still.
I feel like Tom Catalini is like the booster for this. Like he's really is the cheerleader for dancing it off. I think.
So oh my God, I had this thing in my lap to show her, and I totally forgot, but I'll show her another time. Can I just divulge for a minute? So I had a retreat over the weekend, and while we were in Sheffield, Massachusetts, there's a beautiful building that resembles our Mount Hood. There was a meeting place called Dewey Hall.
Oh, right.
And there was a farmer's market the next day, so we had to go in and see Dewey Hall. So anyway, got a tour of Dewey Hall with the farmer's market, and I had to buy their tote bag for their motto, which is, this is their mission, to increase kindly feelings and promote intelligence and cheerfulness.
Wow, that's nice.
Can't argue with any of that.
No kidding. Huh?
You can't.
Cheerfulness is underrated, by the way. We need more cheerfulness.
Do we need it?
Yes,
I think we have it. Anyway, deweyhall.org.
No, I meant the world. The world needs more cheerfulness. Oh. That's what I meant. Not here. We're still here with cheerfulness. All right. Well, I'm glad you had a good time out there, and that looks like a nice little souvenir takeaway. So I'm glad you shared that with us. We will see you all around town.
Yes. Thanks, Steve, for coming again.
Wouldn't miss it.
Dropping some knowledge.
Yeah, no kidding.
Giving us
Appreciate
some
your
polls.
time.
It was good.
Thank you.